Yes, very good morning once again. And now, let me ask you something. And I want you to think about this honestly. Can you remember a conversation from like 5, maybe 10 years ago that still stings a little? Someone said something, maybe casually, maybe in passing, and it stayed with you. Not because of the situation, not even because of the exact words, but because of how it made you feel. And now, flip that. Can you remember a moment when someone made you feel truly hurt, like you mattered, like what you were going through was real and valid, and you walked away from that conversation lighter than when you walked in? Funny, isn't it? See, you forget most of what people say to us, but we never forget how they made us feel. That gap between what is said and what is felt, that is exactly what we are going to explore today. So, we are going to talk about emotional intelligence in conversations. So, let me begin with this thought that, there's a truth I wanted to carry with you long after today's session ends, that people rarely remember your words, but they remember how they felt around you. Think about the people in your life who you love talking to, the ones you seek out when you are having a hard day and willing to bet they are not necessarily the smartest people you know or the most eloquent. They are the ones who make you feel safe, the ones who don't make you feel small for having feelings. And that is emotional intelligence. And it is a skill, not a personality type, which means every single one of you can learn it. Yeah. And here's something I find absolutely fascinating. See, two people can deliver the exact same message, same words, same information, same situation. And one of them creates a warm moment of connection, while the other starts a fight that lasts 3 days. So let me show you what I mean. Imagine a working woman. She's come home after a long, exhausting day, back to back meetings, a difficult boss, a deadline that moved again. And she walks in, drops a bag, and says, I'm so tired. I just can't do this anymore. Now, person A hears this and says, You're always tired. You chose this job, didn't you? At least you have a salary coming in. I also work hard, you know. Person B hears exactly the same words and says, Come, sit down. What happened today? Same exhausted vibe, same words, two completely different responses. And I don't need to tell you which conversation ended in silence and which one ended in a hug. And now let me bring our homemakers into this, because running a home is not a small thing. And I think it's a high time we acknowledge that. Imagine a homemaker who has spent the day cooking three separate meals because one child doesn't eat dal, the other doesn't eat sabzi, the husband is on a diet, and then someone in the family, maybe a visiting relative, says, Oh, so what do you do all day at home? Now, person A says nothing, but person B sighs and walks away. And person C, someone with emotional intelligence, pauses and says, Do you know what she actually does in a day? Let me tell you. The situation didn't change. The remark was still thoughtless, but the response, that one response made her feel seen. And for the gentleman, this one is important. So stay with me. Your teenage son comes to you and says, Papa, I don't want to take science. I want to do something in design. And now most of us, out of love, out of genuine concern, will immediately launch into a full presentation on job security, salaries, and that one cousin who did engineering and is now settled abroad. But here's the thing, he didn't come to you for a lecture. He came to you terrified, needing to know that you won't think less of him. And what he needed before any advice was for you to say, tell me more. What is it about design that excites you? The difference between these conversations is not intelligence, it's emotional intelligence. Yes. So, what does emotional intelligence in a conversation actually mean? Let me break it down into something simple and real. Number one, listen before you react. And this is so very important. And I'm full of gratitude for graphology that we are learning this, that we are stopping ourselves to react and learning to respond. And most of us, while someone is talking, are already preparing our response. We're already forming our argument, our advice, our counterpoint. And emotional intelligence asks you to press pause on that. Just listen first. The response can wait 30 seconds. And number two, understand the emotion, not just the event. When someone tells you something, there are always two stories, the what happened and how it feels. When your friend says, my mom in law commented on my cooking again, she's not asking you to solve the mother in law problem. She's telling you she feels disrespected in her own home. Address the feeling first. Number three, manage your own emotions before responding. This is the hard one actually. Because sometimes what someone says triggers us and we react from that trigger rather than from wisdom. So, emotional intelligence is the pause between the trigger and the response. That one breath, that one moment of asking yourself, is my reaction going to help this person or is it going to help my ego? Maybe Sanjeev ji goes out of the house to take those one breath, right? So that he responds instead of reacting. And fourth, respect that others feel differently than you do. You may find something easy. They might find it devastating. You may find something silly. They might find it heartbreaking. So emotional intelligence doesn't say your feelings are valid only if I would feel the same way. It says your feelings are valid because you are human. And here is the one question that will transform every conversation you have. Before you respond, ask yourself, what is this person feeling right now? Yes. So very important to understand that. And now what are they saying? Not whether they are right or wrong. What are they feeling? Answer that first and then speak. So let's do today's reflection exercise. So is what I'm inviting you to try today, just once, in one conversation. Focus completely on understanding. Yes, laser focus. Before you think about replying. That's it. Don't multitask. Don't half listen while scrolling your phone. Don't wait for your turn to speak. Just be fully, completely present for someone. And let your only job in that moment be to understand them. And then notice. Notice how the conversation changes. Notice how they change. And notice, perhaps, how you feel afterward. Yes. So I want to leave you with something that has stayed with me. We live in times when everyone is talking loudly, constantly, urgently. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an answer. And ironically, in all this noise, people feel more lonely and misunderstood than even before. Because what most people are starving for is not someone who will talk to them. They are starving for someone who will truly listen, who can make them feel that they are with you, who can make them feel that they are creating a space for you. So, emotional intelligence is not a corporate skill. It's not a workshop certificate you hang on your wall. It is the quality that makes someone want to call you when they are falling apart. And it is what makes people trust you. Not because you always have the right answer, but because they know you will never make them feel small for asking. So here is your call to action for the day. Not for a month, not for a week, just for today. In your next conversation, be the person who makes the other person feel truly, deeply hurt. That one moment, it could change everything for them. And quietly, over time, it will change everything for you too. So, with that thought, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you.